Washington mornings on the Mall. And AM 630. WMAL.
7:37 with Brian and Brian. Look, it's very clear that this Trayvon Martin story is resonating with people, that they really have some passionate opinions about it. And since Washington, this is the place where people come to talk. We're gonna reopen the phone lines on this topic at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. So if you have passionate opinions about that case, get on the phone line and dial us now, 1-888-630-9625. We are going back to the topic. Going to pause briefly, though, to talk to our good friend Stuart Varney from the Fox Business Network. There's another thing going on here today that impacts a lot of people, and that is the president's going to go to Cushing, Oklahoma. He's going to talk about how he cares about part of the pipeline, just not the part of the pipeline that does us any good, and he's going to make the case that he believes he's doing everything possible to lower gasoline prices. Stuart, do you buy it?
I'm buying all of what you just said, Brian. Absolutely. He is going to Cushing, Oklahoma. I think, I don't know the exact words that he will use, sounds to me like he's going to take credit for approving a part of the pipeline which he doesn't have to approve and has played no role in getting built or getting planned. And this new part of the pipeline delivers no new oil to America at all. It's a stretch to say that the president's oil pipeline policy is working. Big stretch.
What about refineries? Nobody ever talks about refineries. I mean, what are the number of refineries that we have in this country, and don't we need to build more? Wouldn't that help as well?
Look, Brian, we have not built a new refinery in the United States since the late 1970s. I mean, we're talking 35 years since we put together and built and operated a new refinery. Result, the old ones are getting very old, and they're shutting down. And we've got new EPA rules which force them to shut down. I mean, look, what are we going to do? I live in near the New York area. There's a huge refinery in Philadelphia that's going to close in July, which will take away a lot of the refining capacity for the whole Northeast. What happens? The price of gas goes up. Now, the president is not addressing this. I don't know why, but he's not addressing it. But it is certainly part of the problem, Brian.
But why? I mean, why haven't we built the refineries? I would think that, hey, if it's a need,
you can't get the permits.
That's what it's all about, permits.
What major structure, whether it's a pipeline or a refinery or a new road, what can you actually get built in America?
Well, that's right.
When everybody can go to court and say, hey, you're treading on my toes, stop. What can you do?
All right, so let me talk about the ramifications of this. If your gasoline prices are going up and gasoline refineries are going out of business and the price is going to go up and up and up and up, what does that do to the recovery that, was palpably in evidence?
Well, Ben Bernanke said yesterday in testimony before Congress, he said, look, rising gas prices take money out of consumer wallets and eventually slow the economy. That's what he said. Now, look, just for a second, Brian, look at the politics of this. To pay attention, please, to Ohio. Very important state politically, a swing state. Overnight, there's been another spike in Ohio. For example, I've got here Columbus, up 23 cents in the last 2 days. Wow. Dayton, 20 cents higher. Chicago, up 80 cents in a month. They're paying an average of $4.60 for regular. Another spike, 10 cents a gallon in Louisville, Kentucky. Now, these are politically sensitive areas where there is a clear spike, and I think there will be a voter reaction against the president's energy policy.
Is there a reason why there's a spike or a bigger spike in those areas than, say, around here?
I believe there is a local supply problem, but it's a big local area. That is a big chunk of the Midwest. And things are not getting better.
Which is why the president's going to Ohio after he gets through with Oklahoma.
Yeah, Cushing, Oklahoma. I think you know that well, don't you, Brian?
I've been in that part of the world.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you're the governor of Ohio or governor of a Midwest town where you've seen a lot of jobs leave, a lot of industrial jobs leave, why would you say, hey, let's build a refinery or two here? Let's do what we can to entice somebody to come in and build a refinery.
Well, do you remember, I think it was last week, President Obama attended a basketball game in Ohio.
Yeah, it was in Dayton.
Governor Kasich was there,
right.
And there's a famous still shot of Governor Kasich almost prodding President Obama in the chest and saying, hey, can we please get on with the business of drilling for natural gas in Ohio? It's a big local issue. President Obama has not been quick to approve this kind of fracking, as it's called. Governor Kasich wants it. There was a confrontation right at that basketball game about energy policy and doing things to relieve the problem.
All right. There was a report out earlier. We talked about this, that perhaps Brent crude could go up to $200 a barrel. Are you buying that? Is that a possibility?
Well, that would all be because of local, that would be to say European and Middle Eastern politics. I mean, it could, of course. It all hinges on whether or not the Israelis and or America attack or take military action against Iran. If that happens, yeah, I'm buying $200 a barrel Brent. I'm buying $140 a barrel American crude, if that happens.
All right, Stuart, great to have you on as always. We appreciate it.
Isn't it really just it really is just really as simple as one thing: supply and demand.
Yes,
is it not?
sir, it is. Yes.
I don't understand why this is so complicated.
Because politics is involved, Brian, that's why.
All right, Stu, thank you very much.
Okay, guys.